Good evening. I wanted to start off by asking if anyone is in need of some prayers this evening. I'm going to try to remember to say that a little bit more often because we all need prayers. So if you need a prayer for yourself or someone else, leave it down in the comments and we'll get to work. We are in Matthew chapter 15 this evening. Don't forget to look back at our last lesson where Jesus teaches about inner purity. This lesson is going to be when Jesus sends a demon out of a little girl. So let's get to it. Verse 21. Jesus then left Galilee and went north to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Gentile, or some manuscripts read Greek, a Gentile woman who lived there came to him pleading, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David, for my daughter has a demon in her, and it is severely tormenting her." But Jesus gave her no reply, not even a word. Then his disciples urged him to send her away. "Tell her to leave," they said. "She is bothering us with all her begging." Then he said to the woman, "I was sent only to help the people of Israel, God's lost sheep, not the Gentiles." But she came and worshipped him and pleaded, "Lord, help me." "It isn't right to take food from the children and throw it to the dogs," he said. "Yes, Lord," she replied, "but even dogs are permitted to eat crumbs that fall beneath their master's table." "Woman," Jesus said to her, "your faith is great. Your request is granted." And her daughter was instantly healed. Now, this seems to be some harsh words that Jesus has for this woman. Let's look at some commentary. Maybe we can shine some context on this passage of Scripture. Jesus' words do not contradict the truth that God's message is for all people. So I encourage you to go look up Psalm chapter 22, verse 27, Isaiah chapter 56, verse 7, and in this book right here, the Great Commission, Matthew chapter 28, verse 19. That is the Great Commission, by the way, where Jesus sends out, where he says, preach to all nations, basically, meaning that the word is not just for the Jewish people, it is for the Gentiles, it's for everybody. So we got to take everything into context, is what I'm saying. Okay, let's continue. After all, when Jesus said these words, he was in Gentile territory on a mission to the Gentile people. He ministered to Gentiles on many other occasions also. Jesus was simply telling the woman that the Jews were to have the first opportunity to accept him as the Messiah because God wanted them to present the message of salvation to the rest of the world. And you can go find that in Genesis chapter 12, verse 3. Jesus was not rejecting the Gentile woman. He may have wanted to test her faith, or he may have wanted to use the situation as another opportunity to teach that faith is available to all people. I want to get to this passage. This is a piece of commentary that's relating to the term where Jesus said that, let's see, I want to make sure I quote it right. He says, "It isn't right to take food from the children and throw it to the dogs," he said. That was pretty harsh. But let's read a little bit of commentary. The term dog was a term that the Jewish community applied to the Gentiles because the Jews considered these pagan people no more likely than dogs to receive God's blessing. Jesus was not degrading the woman by using this term. He was reflecting the Jews' attitude as to contrast it with his own. The woman did not argue. Instead, using Jesus' choice of words, she agreed to be considered a dog as long as she could receive God's blessings for her daughter. Ironically, many Jews would lose God's blessing and salvation because they rejected Jesus. And many Gentiles would find salvation because they accepted him. That's where we're going to end. Let this be a lesson to all of us that we can't take one piece of Scripture out of context from the whole Bible. If we had of, we would not see the entire picture here. Like I said, from the surface, it looks like Jesus is treating this woman pretty harshly. But in reality, it looks like he was using this as a teachable moment for his disciples and potentially also to test this lady's faith. So that's where we're going to end tonight. Again, if you need prayers for yourself this evening, prayers for anyone else that you know of, we're coming up on the Christmas season. There are some people who are a little more lonely than the rest of us. Fortunately for me, I have family that I can be around this Christmas. Some people aren't quite so lucky, so if that's you, I pray for you in particular, because I know it's hard sometimes coming up on the Christmas season to be alone. And if that is you, I'll pray a particular prayer, for you and your situation, and just know that you're never alone. Jesus is right there with you. And that's the best company that you can have. So, need any specific prayers, leave them in the comments. Hope you have a good evening, and God bless you.